analytic system because they want to talk with their data. So then this is a very easy to use way to connect to the system. And we're going to go to the example. Of course, we have developed the MCP servers in an open source way. You can go and you can check get the code and you can contribute back. This is the invitation. Let me show you where is located the code. This is under the Mifos repositories. We have two versions. One is for Java and the other is for Node.js. If you have, I can say, some expertise in TypeScript or Java, you can easily compile the solutions that has been developed. In the latest date, we have been focused on the Java version because we have Cloud Desktop and also we have another solution that is called N8N, which is I can say a web-based solution in order to orchestrate not only AIs but another kind of flows. And in this way, we can pass variables to the MCP server in order to connect to our Mifos instance, which is very easy. It's only to provide a URL, to provide the basic token, which is the combination of the user and password when we do the initial login, and the Mifos tenant ID, because we have to remember that Mifos is a multi-tenancy solution. And another requirement is to have installed the GBank tool. GBank is a Java command line that has been developed by Quarkus. Also, this server has been developed in Quarkus. Quarkus is another framework that is called a subatomic framework because it provides a very light solution for developing Java applications. So then it has advantage on another frameworks, but it is very efficient for running this kind of solution. Also, we have used open source models for doing this kind of development because we are talking about millions of tokens where we are working with this kind of solution. So then if we go for a paid solution like Gemini, ChatGPT, or any kind of paid solution, it could cost thousand or millions of dollars because of the amount of token that must be processed by the solution. So then we have to deploy a GPU cluster because we require the power of GPU cards. They are RTX NVIDIA cards. And also we have deployed the N8N server in order to create our orchestration models. We use 8N server because Cloud Desktop is not functional for working with system. Cloud Desktop is more for an end user, I can say, interaction. If you know about cloud, or if you don't know, you can go Google. Cloud Desktop. You can go to the cloud AI and you can identify which is the solution that you can download or that you can interact, because there is also a web version, but the web version doesn't have MCP client, which is required in order to interact with the solution. And let me show you which is the deployment that we have done. This is the MCP server. It has a webhook. The webhook is used for receiving the message from any channel. This is an omni-channel solution. So then it can be connected to WhatsApp, but it can be connected to a web widget of a chatbot that has been attached to a web page, which is the case that we have implemented. It can be connected to Slack. It can be connected to another system because it's not only person to system, but it can be system to system, the solution. And we have an AI agent node that will orchestrate the connection between the Olama chat model. In this case, we have used Quen. For the development environment, we use the 7 billion parameters model. Why we have selected this model? Because it is open source. So then we can distill the model, implementing or training the model specifically for financial reasoning, which is very important for us in order to receive the proper response from the agent. But depending of the capacity, we can use larger models. For example, using the 32 billion parameters. But just remember that you will require to have a GPU card installed on your server or in your computer in order to have a efficient response. If not, it will take a lot of time to receive a response. And then we require to connect the MCP client, sorry, the MCP server, which is the code that I have just shared, and it is available on the Mifos repositories. In this case, it will list all the available tools that the agent has in order to interact with the Mifos instance. And another node that is for executing the task automatically. Also, there is no need to connect node depending of the reasoning or the result of the reasoning produced by the model. It can select automatically the tool and execute the tool in order to produce a result. In this case, because for the Mifos example that we are going to present, it is in a testing mode. We require to work with this button that is on the bottom, that is the test flow, for example. And we have to go to the Mifos instance. We're going to interact with this solution. In this case, I'm going to replicate the steps that we have taken before, which is creating a customer, which is also example for retrieving the information. We are working with another use cases, for example, for automating the onboarding, but in a more, I can say, specialized way, which is about doing the screening with a credit bureau or with a blacklist system in order to confirm that the person can open an account in the Mifos instance. But let me show you in this moment. This is the Sandbox Mifos community instance, which, by the way, it has a rebranding image. So then currently only we have two clients, Halima Jackson, Dale Ronda High Love. Well, using the LLM and the flow that is pending to process our request, we are going to send the prompt. Remember that nowadays the interaction between the LLMs is using prompts in order to send the commands. This is the way, or the technical name, that is called the interaction between the person and the AI. In this case, I'm going to request to create a customer that is called Malala, and her last name is Yusafai. We're providing an email, a phone number, and an external ID. So then we're going to send it to process it. Okay, it has been already processed. And we can, because we are on an execution mode, just 1 second. Because we need to make sure that it's running. Um, in this case, we are running on a development mode, as I have previously commented. So then we're using Quarkus for running the example. This is running on an Azure instance of the Mifos community account. It will run using the HTTP mode for connecting to it. It is starting. It is starting just a little bit slow because there are a lot of deployments there. But it is ready. It is listening on the 8081 port in all the interfaces. We go back to our model. We're going to start, and we will request the execution again. So then the model will receive the information that we are requesting. It is processing the list of the available tools, and then it will try to execute the command. In this way, we can visually uh, understand what is happening behind the hood, I can say, behind the wheels. And at the end, we have to integrate HTTP node, because for the multi-agent tool that we are using right now, it doesn't support still any kind of MCP, but maybe at a later time, the company or the community of the agentic tool will provide a solution for sending the response instead of using an HTTP node. Okay, we received some kind of response, but
I think you missed the C off create. That's fine.
sometimes there is some issue with the response because it has been created. Yeah, you can see that it has been already created. Malala Yousafzai. It contains the number. It contains the email that I have provided. This is something that we are just doing the debugging because sometimes it doesn't show the proper response. We think that is because the HTTP node, but well, we have been focused more on the MCP server because all the output is already there. If we go to the execution, for example, we can see that it is successful. So then this is something that maybe the HTTP node is causing. But well, if you also do the deployment or if you are doing the debugging using Cloud Desktop, also it has an interaction that shows the response. Uh, but well, we are going to review which is the reason that it doesn't provide a proper response. And we're using chatbots that has been, in this case, used for, I can say, to to take the control by a human or even by another bot. This is a multi-agent conversation solution, and so it is open source. In order to receive the message that is sending the user through the interface, and also we can take the control in case of or to assign the conversation even to a person or to another bot. It depends the also the automation of this another tool. And also there is an API gateway. Most of the time we use Gravity, for example. Just I'm going to refresh the logs. So then this is the request that we have received. We didn't provide any kind of specification about which is the structure that the API will receive. It has been automatically selected and it has been automatically filled in order to send the response. Sorry, to send the request and also to receive the response. And I'm sure why we receive the message. Seems that the external ID already has been registered by another tool. So then maybe some of these customers has been just renamed. Maybe this one, and it has the same external ID. But well, we are going to have another interaction. This has been for writing to the system. Let's go to read from the system. For example, I'm going to go back to the chatbot. In this case, we return, and we are going to copy the response, which is the prompt. Get client by ID4, for example. Well, this is just an example. Also, we can retrieve the information using only the name. And we go back to our instance in order to test the workflow. As I have previously commented, this is in a debug mode. That is the reason that we have to continuously start the flow. If we don't want to, or if we are ready to go to production or to testing, we just need to use the production URL. But for now, we are on the test flow. We're going to execute the agent, and it is running. we have the response. Malala Yousafzai with all the information that we have previously filled to our user. And, and also we can go back to the I can say to the conversation tool in order to review also. But this is being used also as a debug. It can be used also as a I can say recording conversation, because most of the time, if a user requires to receive a copy of the conversation, we can automate this kind of requests using the chatbot functionalities. And also we are going to review the execution of the flow. For example, in this case, we go to execution. We can see that automatically the tool and the response has been, I can say, converted from the JSON response to, I can say, text, human readable uh, form, in order to have the interaction between the person and the system, and the person is using the chat widget. In this case, this is a web solution. But as I have mentioned, the triggers is not only through the webhook, because we can use another kind of solution like WhatsApp, for example. Let me show you. And for the moment, I have shown only the interaction in English, but also the chatbot can do automatically the translation to Spanish. There are another interactions here previously that are in Spanish. So then there are some, or there is the possibility to have the response in any other language, depending of the capacity of the model. So then when we select the model, we are looking for the reasoning, we are looking for the tooling capacities, also for the language support, because depending on those features, we can provide the interaction to the persons. For example, using similar interaction, we have connected not only the web app, but also, in this case, I am presenting a WhatsApp solution. Hello, Fintecheando. I am talking just in Spanish. Yeah, but depending of the context, also we can receive the information in English. Also, the same happens here. There is no need to do any kind of translation. The translation is automatically handled by the model. Just remember to use the proper models. And the invitation continues, or is that you can check the code that has been developed for the MCP server. Just be aware that we are still doing the debugging, and that we are continue to implement a lot of functionalities. Also, the ideas that you can provide, it is very helpful, and the feedback that you can give us, it is important, because it will allow us to implement this kind of solution in a better way. And well, that's it. If you have any question, please you can request the question or you can do the question. Thank you, David, for the time.
Oh, thank you, Victor. That's amazing. It's really good to see it live and really brave of you to do a demo. Any questions, Victor?
Can I ask a question?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, like on the like you're just able to like for example, you have just typed get blind I get blind by ID3, and in this chatbot version, like are you able to like perform all these tasks via WhatsApp too, like WhatsApp or
Yes,
Slack or any other?
yes. Let me show you the screen again because chatbot has the capacity to connect to I can say solution already uh, bundled with chatbot, but there is another way to connect to chatbot, which is the HTTP API. So then in this the, there are the settings, there are the integrations, there are webhooks, there are OpenAI, there is Dialogflow, but there is another one in the inbox. When we create an inbox, we can integrate. Oh, sorry, let me complete the share. There is a web widget, a messenger, Facebook, WhatsApp, SMS, Line, Telegram, API. So then if the solution is not listed, you can use an API or through email. If you receive emails, you can automate the solution and the trigger node can be used.
Sorry, I just missed the part where you were talking about the onboarding process. So like, is it complete or is it under like you are working on it?
The onboarding process is, I can say, is just a foundation. You can implement any other functionality. The source code is ready to be forked or well, cloned and forked in order to do any kind of modification. It is only the basic um, onboarding process, but you can extend to your requirements.
Like for example, like from one WhatsApp account, like I just want to create a multiple users onboarding. So like how it would be like feasible or not?
Sorry, I didn't get the last question.
I was referring to like for example, we have like a WhatsApp connected to it, and we just want to create onboarding for like different users from the like the same WhatsApp account. Like would it be pose any security issues or anything like that?
No, in fact, we have designed the solution to be to have the grants segregated. So then this agent only do the onboarding, but there is another agent that do the super that execute the supervision or that do the supervision of the data, and another agent can do the activation of the customer. So this is not a, I can say, a straight solution. It requires to have an orchestration of agent, and the agents will have specific grants depending of the role.